Well, we haven't done one of these videos in a long time, but we're back in the old room doing 2023-2024 Premier League predictions. But first of all, I'd like to say I'm very sorry. Obviously, United hasn't been playing. It's been about a month and a half since the Premier League ended, and obviously United lost that FA Cup final. I suffered a lot of abuse on Twitter, but am I bothered? No, I'm not at all, I'll be really honest. But we're here in rainy Glossop in the summer holidays doing Premier League predictions. I don't really like long intros, so yeah, let's just get straight into this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, let's go. Right, so starting it off at the very bottom of the league, I'm going to go for Luton Town. Now, Luton, last year I actually went to a Luton away game at Wigan. Obviously, if you do know me, I support Glossop North End, but our game got cancelled on the way to Piccadilly, Manchester. So we decided to go to Luton away, but honestly, I don't really see Luton doing it this year. Obviously, they have signed Taif Chong, who used to be a United player. Probably in a few of my vlogs, Taif Chong, but I don't think he'll seal it. Obviously, they've bought him for £4.7 million, but I don't think it'll seal it. Luton, a very small club. The stadium's tin pot. They're not doing it for me. In 19th place, I have actually got Sheffield United. Sheffield United either do really good in this league or really bad. But so far with the signings that they've made, obviously they made the signing of Traore from, I think he's from Sweden, a centre forward. Very young though, inexperienced. Obviously, they did have Billy Sharp in the past. They've always had an okay player that can step them up to that level to keep them into the Premier League. But this time round, I don't think they'll have it in them. So the two teams that have actually gone up, I think, are going to go down. However, Burnley, I have better expectations for them. You will see later on in the video. But yeah. So the last relegation spot, 18th place. A lot of people are going to be shocked by this decision, but I'm actually going to go for Everton. Now, when I do this in a year's time and I react to my Premier League predictions, I know I'm going to kick myself for this one. But I really have a weird feeling about Everton this season. Bringing in Ashley Young isn't going to keep you in the Premier League, Everton. We need to think about this. They have brought in Danjuma from Tottenham. Will he make a difference? I really don't know. Dele Alli, obviously, coming back from Besiktas, is it? Besiktas in Turkey. Seems like he could have a redemption. Let's just see what happens there. I hope so, after seeing that interview with Gary Neville. But, yeah, for me, it just don't cut it this season. I could kick myself for this one. But, yeah, 18th, I'm going to have to go Everton. So just scraping into the Premier League next season, I'm actually going to go for Wolves. Now, obviously, Locatelli came in last year, nearly beat United on his first game. If you do remember that, tell me. But I have just searched up where Wolves came last season, and they came 13th. 13th, Wolves. Honestly, does anyone remember playing Wolves last season? Except from obviously like United playing them. They're such an irrelevant club for me. Watch them beat us at Old Trafford. They're not going to. Wolves for me are just irrelevant. I don't see them beating many teams in this league now. And yeah, for me, just scraping into the Premier League. They could even get relegated. I don't know. It's Wolves. In 16th place, I'm actually going to go for Crystal Palace. If you ask me why I've put them here, I really don't know. Obviously, they've lost Wilfred Zaha. Jack Butland, who did absolutely incredible for United last season. Honestly, what a goalkeeper he has been for United this season. But, yeah, Jack Butland's gone back to him, but I think he's gone out on a free to Rangers very, very recently, that. But, yeah, I don't know why I've put Palace at 16th. Just an inner feeling. They always scrape it somehow, and I don't really see him going. Now, in 15th place is going to come to a shock for a lot of people. but I've actually gone for Bournemouth. Now, I was just looking at who Bournemouth have already signed because I knew that they'd signed Clivert. That's who I knew they'd signed. But hey, they've signed some absolutely incredible players. They've signed that Favera from Leon. Favera, I don't know how you say his name. They've signed some really good players this season. And obviously, transfer window's still open for maybe a month and a bit or something around there. So, they could make some more action. It's a rare one that people say that Wolves are going to stay in the Premier League, but I believe that they will. So, yeah, Wolves are going to stay in the Premier League at 15th this season. You heard it here first. Now, in 14th place, I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest. And the reason I say this is because Rhythm is a dancer. Anthony Elanga's gone there. Elanga is going to score 10 plus goals this season for Nottingham Forest and keep him in the Premier League. To be honest, I don't actually believe that Forest will get relegated this season, or it's just what happens. Forest will stay in the Premier League this season without a doubt. Just around mid-table, somewhere around there. If they get relegated, I could look like a muppet, but there we go. In 13th place, I'm going to go for West Ham United. This is also, I would say, a lot of people will say this is a bit of a shock. But West Ham, for me, obviously, they've lost Declan Rice. I think that's huge. That will cause a lot of damage for West Ham. However, they have signed a player from Torino. I'm going to have to search up his name. My phone's down here. Let me search up his name now. I've heard Vlasic, that's his name, Vlasic from Torino. Apparently, a really, really good player. They've got him on an end of season loan, so let's see how that works out. But yeah, for me, I just feel like West Ham will stay up this season. There's a lot worse clubs than them, but they could be lower down than 13th, to be honest. I'm not sure why I put them there, but there we go. West Ham this season, you could do well. Now, this is where I'd say people are going to call this an absolute shock. But I'm going to say that in 12th, it's going to be Burnley. They're going to shock the league. They've just signed James Trafford, who is an absolutely incredible goalkeeper. Bloody Burnley. They always do good once they come up from the Championship. James Trafford isn't Fogden's brother before people say, Fogden, you're horrible. You shouldn't have took that kid's glove. If you know, you know. But yeah, I just believe that Burnley will do really well this season. They've signed some really good players. So yeah, don't be surprised if Burnley do well this season. Now, in 11th place, I'm going to go for Brentford. Obviously, they've lost Ivan Toney, which is it's a really big loss for Brentford. I think we all know that. But I have a feeling this season that Brentford could really do something. Signing Nathan Collins, obviously from Wolves, centre-back, could be very good. I think it was around 25 million. I'm not 100% sure. Around there, 26 million, something around there. But Nathan Collins, good addition. They just need to sign a striker, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to put Mbemu up front. Let's see what everyone does with the fantasy teams. I'm pretty sure loads of people put him in. But yeah, for me, I just think Brentford will stay up. It could be lower, but yeah, it's got to be a big loss, Ivan Toney. So, we're halfway through the video. Mid-table, I'm actually going to go for Villa. Now, the reason why I say Villa is because they've just signed Moussa Diaby. I cannot believe that they've made this signing. Talented winger, absolutely incredible. Arsenal wanted him not so long ago. So, yeah, signing Moussa Diaby is just mental. Villa have signed Diaby. But yeah, Villa, they always seem to stay in the Prem. And yeah, I just think they'll do it. They're a very good team. And if they can find a good quite a good amount of form for a long period of time, even if they have those short little periods that they do have in the season sometimes, Villa, where they do really bad, I think they'll be fine. They did it last year. Start of the season, they weren't so good, and then they just smashed through it. So, yeah, I think Villa, they'll be fine. Right, boys, it's a few days later. For some reason, I forgot to do my 8th and 9th place pick. So, you're going to have to cope with a bit of a shirt change right now. But, Yeah, in ninth place, I'm actually going to go for Fulham. Let me just put it on there. Fulham, apparently I think they're going to be losing Mitrovic. I'm not too sure about that. Let's just see what happens there. But last season, Fulham were absolutely solid. And I think they'll be completely fine, Fulham. Signed a few good players. Also, I'm not sure what's happening with the Williams situation, whether he'll go or not. But yeah, Fulham, they're fine, they're solid. I expect them to do near enough as well as last season. And then in eighth place, I actually did do this one, but I forgot to say quite a few things. So here you go. In eighth place, it's a bit of a shock. It's a bit of a reality check for the fan base, but I'm going to have to go for Chelsea. I'm going to have to move this down a tiny little bit. But yeah, I'm going to have to go for Chelsea. Honestly, I don't know how they're going to do it. How can you offload Kovacic and Mount and then not reinforce the midfield? If they get Enzo Fernandez, and maybe if they get Caicedo, I feel like this is a totally different debate. But until then, they haven't signed Caicedo. They're mudded. Chelsea getting eighth. You heard it here first. But yeah, sorry about that, lads. Cheeky little change in top. Yeah. Now, in seventh place, I'm going to be going for Brighton. For me, Brighton this season may not be able to cope with the extra amount of football games that they've got. Every single week they're going to be playing 2 games, maybe even 3 games within 8 days. I don't know if Brighton will be able to cope and get as good as they did last season. They have signed João Pedro from Watford, who is an incredible player. If you know about him, then you know he's top class. But yeah, they've got a really good squad by Brighton, a really good structure. I'm sure they'll do completely fine. They could even make a Carabao Cup or FA Cup final, semi-final. I could see that happening. You'll see that in my video for the predictions for the whole of the cups. But yeah, for me, I just think Brighton will be able to perform as well as they did, but they'll be stable. They have stability. Now in sixth place, we've got the one and only the Geordies. They all think they're going to do incredible this season. They've got Tonali, they've got the Champions League football, they've got this, they've got that. But that doesn't mean anything when you're playing. It's the same as Brighton. You've got a lot of structure. You've got the money now. You're getting there, but it completely changes when you change to the amount of games a week that obviously the top 4 have been, or top 5 have been having for the last few years. But they will secure Europa League next season. I just don't think they will be able to do as well as they did last season with the Champions League and all different events going on. They won't be able to do it. Now in 5th place, just missing out on that Champions League spot this season, I'm going to have to go for Tottenham. For me, Tottenham have made some incredible signings this season. They needed to get James Maddison. They've gone and done it. Pedro Porro, they needed him. They've gone and done it. However, I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the standards of the other 4 teams in this top 4. They're close. They're very close, but I just think it's not the time yet. These 4 next teams are absolutely going to bosh it next season. And if Tottenham do it, I'll be surprised. But for me, Tottenham, you're missing out on Champions Leagues, lads. In 4th place is going to be a massive shock. But I'm going to say Arsenal is going to come in 4th next season. The reason I say this is Arsenal just lost to us in pre-season. Didn't look good at all. They've obviously signed a few good players. Rice for 105 million. I don't even want to talk about that. Why you would spend 105 million on Rice, I do not know. Havertz looks a flop. However, Timber's a very good signing, I feel. But for me, Arsenal, you're just going to scrape 4th. It'll be a battle, I feel, this top 4 next season. But yeah, I just feel like they'll just scrape. Going on to 3rd place, who's it going to be? I'm going to go for Liverpool. The reason I say Liverpool are going to come up here is they've made incredible signings. Obviously, McAllister, Sabizol, or however you say his name. I don't even know. It's Hungarian. It's so hard to say. But yeah, they've signed some good players. However, they haven't signed a player which they would need to. Obviously, Lavia, I think his name is, from Southampton. They've lost Fabinho. They've lost Henderson. They just need a little bit more squad depth to title challenge. I feel. I'm just not sure with Liverpool next season, but I feel like they will get third. They just won't title charge for me. Now, in second place, I'm going to go for Manchester United. Now, I know a lot of City fans will have thought that I was going to say them then, but I think United, we've made the signings we need to so far. Onana absolutely revolutionises United. It changes how we play. Mount, Ericsson was too slow last season for me. It was too slow our play. We've signed Mount, he's looking good in pre-season. And if we could get Højlund, we could title challenge. Now, it could just be my biasness. I'm not gonna lie. The bias could be kicking in. But I really do have a feeling that United are going to title challenge this season. You heard it here first. We just need Højlund. If we can sign Højlund and Amberat, oh my days, we are absolutely balling next season. Watch out for United. However, in first place, it's going to be Manchester City, and I don't think they'll do the treble, though. I don't think they'll do the treble 2 seasons in a row. They've lost a few players, don't get me wrong. They've lost Mahrez. They could be losing Bernardo Silva. I doubt they will, but they could lose Bernardo Silva. But City, Haaland, De Bruyne, they've just got the squad depth. It doesn't matter. Playing 3 games a week to them, they've got 3 teams behind them. They're completely fine. They're winning this league probably by about 10 or 15 points again. I don't think they'll be able to do it within another treble. It's just, if they do, then clip me on this. But yeah, for me, I just don't think City will do that treble. But they will go and win the league. They'll probably go and win FA Cup or Carabao Cup. I don't know. But yeah, City, they're very good for this season. So, if you like this video, obviously a lot different, a lot like the old videos, all the setup. If you would like me to start on Twitch, I'm thinking of starting a Twitch channel. This has just been a little video because I needed to upload. Twitch channel coming soon. I'll be uploading very, very soon. United comes back. We're playing at 1:30 in the morning tonight. I might do a Twitch stream on that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in a bit. And peace. Lads, I've sat here and we've just signed Højlund. Title charge, here we go. United, United, United.